Here's a little candy dispenser I designed in SketchUp. It's a push button, and to dispense the candy, all you have to do is push the button in and out it comes. I made this to go along with the bigger one, and as you can see, it's quite a bit smaller, more compact. Got a little jar on the top, and now I'll show you how I built it. I drew up the push button candy dispenser in SketchUp. Basically what we need for the top and bottom, we need a 4" by 5 1/4. For the front and back, we need a 3" by 3 1/4. For the front and back. For the sides, we need 2 3/4 by 3 1/4. The sides will fit in like so. We're going to need a 3 1/2" piece of 2 by 4. We're going to need a 2" by 4" piece for the slider, which will fit in here. And the top will fit on like so. And then we'll cut the hole in here and add the bottle and so forth. Next, I set up my small parts tapering jig. Put the piece of 2 by 4 in there. And we want to cut an angle. We want this back side to be 1 11/16, and the front side to be 3/4 inch, which will give us approximately a 15-degree angle. Alright, this will be our bottom wedge. This is what the candy will roll down as it exits the dispenser. Next, we'll cut another wedge out of this piece that's shorter, 1 1/2" long. It'll be 1/4 inch here, and 3/4 inch on this side. We'll do that next. Okay, now here's the side view with the side removed of what we're doing. This is the bottom wedge here, this is the top one. Now this top one doesn't have to be a wedge, it can just be a piece of 1/4 inch or whatever for this slide here to kind of rest on. There'll be a spring installed in the back here. I'll get to that later. And this is what we've got so far. Here's the bottom wedge in. This will go on like so. This will go on here. And the top wedge will go down flush with the rabbit here on the side. and that'll form an opening in the back here. If I can get it. Form an opening in the back where the candy will be dispensed down and then run down the ramp. The next thing I gotta do here is cut an opening in here so that can trap the candy in front of this wedge, and then when you push it in, it'll allow it to drop through. So we're getting there. I've got the bottom wedge glued in and the top wedge. Then I drilled a 3/8 hole in here, 3/8 of an inch down from the top, centered. And I took the slide. I drilled two 3/4 inch holes, 1/4 inch apart. And I drilled a 3/8 hole in the back. This will be for the spring, these two 3/8 holes. And I obtained a spring. It's 1.25 inches long, 3/8 diameter, approximately 11 turns, I believe. And this will fit in the back like so. Then it'll go in the back of the slide, and the slide sets in like so. Gives it good spring action, good spring return. Not too hard to push. You don't want it too stiff to push in there, and you want just enough spring back so that it will kick it back. Okay, now looking down inside, you can see that this pathway is blocked by that top wedge. And when you push the slide in, it opens up to allow the candy to drop through and exit out the front. Now for the top, I'll drill a 2-inch hole through the top piece. Okay, I've rounded the corners on the router table, rounded this, rounded the top, installed the slider with the spring. You'll notice how it's blocked off here, and then when you push it back, the candy will flow through into the opening. Now the top will go on. Okay, with the top on, I cut a circle here with a 2 1/4 inch hole saw and used the blank, which is about 2 inches, with a little sanding, and then I cut the opening in that and glued this to the top. Now looking inside, you can see the action there. And that just about completes the build, except for adding the bottle and the finish. Here's the candy dispenser completed. I decided to put 4 screws here in the top, hold the top on, that way I can remove it if I need to. And filled it up with some candy in a little jar. Now to dispense it, simply push the button, and there out comes your candy. Thank you. I hope you like it, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel.